What is up, Light Fam? Welcome to another video. My name is David, your spiritual awakening coach, here to help you through your spiritual awakening. Now, my last video on spirit guides was pretty popular. It sparked a lot of curiosity on the subject. You can go watch that video right here. And I noticed that a lot of the comments were asking for more videos on spirit guides. So I always like to give the people what they want. So this video is going to dive much deeper into this topic of spirit guides. I'm going to give you guys three powerful techniques for connecting with your spirit guides. And then at the end of the video, we're going to debunk a popular misconception that I've ran into a few times over this last week regarding spirit guides. So let's get into all of the spirit guide shenanigans right now. Let's go. So as I mentioned in my first spirit guides video, a spirit guide is a sentient, disincarnate being that matches some aspect of your vibrational output and shares your energetic space for the purpose of helping you to grow and to learn. There are different types of spirit guides. There are lifelong spirit guides. There are some spirit guides that are there just to help you through a particular season of growth. And then when that season of growth is over and the new season of growth shows up in your life, you get a new set of spirit guides that are adept at helping you through that new season. Again, check that first video on spirit guides for the different types of spirit guides. I'll link that video in the description below. But why would they want to help you learn and grow? When you have an intention, that intention carries a frequency. That frequency attracts the guides that want to learn and experience that intention, but don't necessarily want to incarnate to experience it. So they get a deeper understanding of that intention by helping and coaching you through that intention from the other side of the veil without having to incarnate just to experience it. So everything is always very symbiotic in the universe. Another way of looking at this would be to say the best way to learn something is to try to teach it to someone else. So I want to walk you guys through a very powerful technique for connecting with your spirit guides. This is a technique that is known as intoning. So intoning is one of many powerful techniques that fall under the category of conscious evocation. So you're inviting the conscious awareness of whatever entity you want to connect with into your energetic space. And you do this by intoning the name of that entity through your chest. So this will be done in meditation with a quiet and still mind, eyes closed, and you would intone that entity's name. I did this very recently with Archangel Metatron. So it looks something like this. So you would say, Metatron. And you're feeling that vibration through your chest. Again, eyes closed, and you're seeing this expanding orb go out into the universe, connect with that entity, and now that entity is aware of you. So now there's conscious awareness between you and that particular entity. And then you just want to invite that entity in. What I said was, Archangel Metatron, I call you. Grace me with your presence in this space so that we may commune together as brothers. You can make up whatever verbiage makes you feel comfortable. Now, this was a very interesting experience. When I meditate, I open my chakras starting from the bottom going up. So with my eyes closed, I see the energy going up. In this particular situation, when I called in Archangel Metatron, I saw this kind of cascading purpley violet energy coming down, kind of cascading downward. And then I got a very heavy pressure on my third eye with like a little yellow pinprick of light that expanded outward into this huge circle, like a sun. So there was like this sun right here surrounded by purple light. And I was literally a deer in the headlights. It threw me into a trance, but I was filled with just absolute bliss. So I was in a trance of bliss. And I didn't want to get out. I was like, wow, this is really cool. I don't think I want to leave this. So you can have some pretty awesome experiences. Now, obviously, you know, he's an archangel. I'm sure this was just a sliver of his conscious awareness. I'm sure this wasn't his full presence. The cells of the human body just are not necessarily calibrated to experience that high level of light in the same space. So I'm sure it wasn't his full presence, but it was an amazing experience nonetheless, an experience that all of you guys can have. Now, if you don't know the name of the spirit guide that you want to work with, you can actually ask them their name. And this is a great bonding experience. So again, this would be done in meditation with a quiet and still mind. And when you're quiet and still, you ask the name. And then you want to be silent. And then you want to sense or intuit or hear a name. Now, what happens if there's no response? What happens if it's absolute silence and you don't get any response? In that case, you can have the intention of giving them a name. And when you have that intention, whatever name pops up first, you want to ask them permission if it's okay for you to call them by that name. Funny story, Light Fam. I wanted to call in a particular type of guardian, who's actually my main guardian now. And this particular guardian, his appearance was very Hollywood, as I like to say. Most spirits or entities are very subtle, so you kind of have to have an awareness of your own energy body to know when something else is sharing your energetic space, and it's usually a very subtle energy. But this guy was not subtle by any stretch of the imagination. It was pretty amazing. And when I asked him for his name, complete silence. I couldn't get a name. So what I did was I kind of intuitively gave him a name, kind of based off of what I was feeling in that particular meditation. So I asked him if it was okay to call him this name, and I didn't get an answer back as to whether or not it was okay. Long story short, a couple hours later, I go out jogging. I've got my earbuds in. I've got YouTube music on my phone, and I'm jogging, and I run into a friend. I pause the music. I talk to my friend, blah, 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 blah. I go back to my phone after we're finished talking because I want to start jogging again. I look at my phone. The name of the video that is on my phone is the name that I just gave this guardian a couple of hours ago. Blew my mind, completely blew my mind. And then later on that night, now, you know, again, this is in meditation. I did not say this out loud. This is all internal. I didn't say it out loud. You know, Alexis didn't pick it up. I've never searched this term before. It just magically pops up in my recommendations. And then later that night, I'm on the couch. My smart TV has the YouTube app on. I open up that app and boom, another video with the same name that I just named my guardian. Again, I've never searched it. I've never said it out loud. So if you don't know the name of a particular spirit guide, you can give them a name and then ask if it's okay for you to call them that name. And then you want to look for the confirmation that you have permission to call them by that name. And this is a great route to take if it's a very famous type of guide that, you know, everybody uses. If you have your own name for them, then they always know that it's you that is calling on them. Another powerful technique for connecting with your spirit guides is to ask them to come to you in your dreams. Our consciousness plays in the astral realm when we sleep, like fam. And this is where your guides are. So when your consciousness is on the same realm, it's very easy for them to come to you. So ask them to come to you in your dreams. Ask for a name. Ask that they solve some question that you're trying to solve in your life or give you some insight for your greatest and highest good, etc. But you want to also set the intention that you will remember your dream. And then the next thing that you want to do is you want to journal your dreams. Write down whatever came to you in that dream. You might get that name, or you might get an animal. Research what that animal represents. Or there may be some scenario that you have to decode from that dream, and then when you decode it, boom, you get your answer. But whatever comes to you, write it down, even if it doesn't make sense in the moment, because in divine timing, maybe several months down the road, it will click. You'll have that aha moment when it's most impactful, so that you really get that lesson. And I know that I have a lot of clients out there that have been slacking on their dream journal, and they are tired of hearing me preach about stop procrastinating, about journaling in your dream journal. But it is that important, because you're able to get information without it having to fight through your ego's filters. So you get that information that you need, even if you don't understand it at that time. And then when it's most impactful is when you have that aha moment, so that you really understand that new concept. The next powerful technique for connecting with your spirit guides kind of plays off the last idea of having that dream journal, and that is having a spirit guide journal or a meditation journal. Now, you guys may remember from the first spirit guide video where I said the main technique for connecting is to get in meditation, get present, get mindful, have the intention to connect with your guides, invite your guides in, and then once you guys are sharing the same consciousness, ask a question, ask a name, ask, insight for your greatest good, however you want to connect. But now, whatever response you get back, you want to record that in a spirit guide journal or a meditation journal. And the reason for that is your response may be just one word or two or three words that don't really seem connected and may not make sense in the present moment. But like the dream journal, whenever divine timing is right, maybe several months down the road, all the pieces of the puzzle will come together, where you'll have that aha moment, and then you'll change your methodology about how you're going about your life. And that change in methodology may get you to where you really want to go in life. So meditation journals or spirit guide journals are very important for getting the insight that you need. And yes, I do have clients that are procrastinating on their meditation journals. You know who you are. But it's all love, light fam. We love you. I want to clear up a common misconception that I've ran into a couple of times this week with some of my clients. So I've got a few clients that have said that they don't feel comfortable working with an archangel, or any angel for that matter. And this is mainly because they've got a little bit of a bad taste left in their mouth from the fear-based religions, and they believe that they will be judged if they work with an angel. This is absolutely false. This is incorrect. Angels are not religious. We get the misconception that they're religious because they're mentioned in religious texts, but that doesn't make them religious. Angels are high vibrational light beings that love humanity, and they assume the role of guardianship. They're not the religious police. Religion is a poor attempt by out-of-alignment humans operating from ego to try to understand the nature of infinity. It's the ego that segregates and compartmentalizes other groups of humans and says, well, this group believes that, they've got a label, and this other group over here, they believe that, they've got a label. I believe this, and my belief is right, so my label is the only label that is correct. And this allows the ego to separate itself from everyone else and individualize itself, so it can stand in a place of self-righteousness and say, me. Oh, me. Well, what is me? Identity. Who's in charge of identity? Ego. Well, guess what? In the non-physical, there is no ego. Why is this? Because ego is a survival tool for the physical. There are no egoic structures like religion in the non-physical. So religion doesn't exist on the other side of the veil. Why is this? Because religion is man-made. It's ego, which means it's temporary. It's not from source, which is eternal and infinite. So don't feel like you're going to be judged if you work with an angel. They sit in a place of loving guardianship, not a place of judgment and condemnation. Now, Question of the day. What is your most memorable encounter with a spirit guide? Ooh. Let us know in the comments below, Light Fam. That should make for a very interesting comment section. If you guys do need a helping hand on your spiritual journey as well as a game plan, we can work one-on-one through Zoom. Check the description below for that. I've gotten a lot of questions asking if I offer hourly. Yes, I do offer hourly. You don't have to take the 90-day course or the 45-day course. I do offer hourly as well. Details on that in the description below. Follow me on IG _Lightways. Smash some buttons, click some stuff, and send somebody some good vibes. Be a good person. We'll see you in the next video. Light, love, and abundance to all that are watching and to all you love. Peace, guys.